Welcome back to the next leg in our race around the world. I am Kevin Oliver, one of your co-hosts here at the Pitstop Pals.
And my name is Bruce Heller. I am the other co-host of this electric circus.
How's it going, Bruce?
Good. How are you doing, buddy?
Good. It was a great week for Amazing Race 25.
It was. It's always a good week for that. We have two really great episodes so far.
Absolutely. I loved it. So you want to lead us through what's going on here?
Yeah. First off, you said you had an idea for a new segment you wanted to do. So let's start with that.
Okay. I gotta find it here because I really don't know where I'm at. Man, I should have. Okay. This is the quote of the episode. Bruce, I want to get your thoughts on this, and it fits in kind of well considering we're both Bible college graduates. Punting is something designed by the devil to punish the English.
Nice. That is really funny. Who said that again?
Yeah, you're gonna make me think.
How dare you?
I can't think of who it is. I'm kind of thinking that it was one of our two struggling teams, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, so before we get into the actual recap, all these teams have like a team name or a team hashtag, and I texted you this question, but let's do it on the show just for chaos.
Yeah, I agree.
What would we be? And like fan base weigh in on this on the YouTube comments or social comments, wherever we take this discussion.
Yes, we would love to hear your thoughts.
What's
My
our
vote,
hashtag?
my vote, me and Bruce would be the hashtag bumbling idiots.
Yeah, he said bumbling idiots. I said team podcasters. Both are good options. His is funnier. But yeah. So diving in, we're on our way to London. And one thing I noticed is I'm so used to the past couple seasons where, like, at the beginning of a leg, they leave one team at a time, and it's like difference in hours between them based on when they finished the previous leg.
And a lot of that had to do with COVID and taking private charters, and so nobody was held back by a later flight time because they were all together traveling from one country to another and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool seeing everyone, and like there is something to be said for the newer model, but also it makes it a lot less likely that positions change because they're starting the same amount of hours ahead of you that they finished ahead of you. I like this though because we have like 5 or 6 groups all starting the next leg on their way to London at the same time. This is really fun.
Yes, I'm a big fan of everything that Amazing Race used to be pre-COVID in terms of travel. Uh, it was a good time, and I'm hoping that we can get back there.
Yeah, and so on our way to the airport, I believe we have Tim and Allie and Tim and TJ are sharing a cab. I like the teamwork here. I like the camaraderie between teams.
Yes, that was nice, especially because I have both of those teams in my finale.
As well as also Amy giving Bethany a pair of shoes. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And we see Adam and Bethany with this confessional that they're still kind of in this honeymoon stage where they're good at communicating about everything, which we saw in this episode. They killed it this episode.
Absolutely. They were a blast to watch.
So getting into the episode, the first 6 teams all depart at the same time, and they have a choice. They can either do about face and go to, I believe, Buckingham Palace. One of those British palaces where the guards wear the fancy furry hats that look really cool. But
way too hot.
Yeah, I just want the hat. I don't want to wear the whole uniform. I just want the big fuzzy hat that's like super
Yeah,
tall.
but Bruce, you got to remember that means it's fuzzy, which is warm.
Yeah, but I'm hot anyway. Just look at me. So what's a hat?
You
What difference
wish.
is a hat gonna make?
You wish.
Gosh darn it, we're off to a great start. They can either do about face, which is go dress as one of those British Guard people and learn the like guard marches.
That
Like
Bruce
the
thinks is
exact
hot.
step.
Rumor: Bruce thinks the British guards are hot.
No, I said I'm hot, and I said I like their hats. Those hats are awesome.
I'm starting a rumor.
Those hats are like 9 feet tall. They're so cool.
My
Anyway,
my
they can either go do that and go learn a very complicated drill, basically, or you can do pancake race, which is go fry a pancake in a pan, run this little oval while flipping it, and you have to finish running the oval in 1 minute and 15 seconds, which is a very obscure amount of time, by the way. But
well, you're very obscure too, and
well, yeah, and here I am, host of two podcasts and co-founder of a network. So it's a win for the obscure people, I guess, and obscure races, because Pancake Race was awesome to watch.
yeah, I'm a huge pancake race fan. In fact, if we were to be on season 25, I think we would do the pancake race.
I was gonna ask you. This is gonna be a theme on this show. Is us theorizing what we would have chosen if we were on absolutely pancake race. It looks so much simpler. The
Yeah,
guard marching looked very intricate and very detailed, and I would have messed stuff up and forgot it, as we saw with some teams, or they ended up doing it so many times and being told so many things that by the end of it, they fixed the things they had just been told, but the ones really early on they forgot and regressed on that. So
yeah. Brooke and Robbie had a really rough time with the pancake or with the about face.
I'm sure you loved that, didn't you?
Oh, it was yeah, it was nice.
So yeah, Adam and Bethany they finished pancake race first try with 24 seconds to spare left on the clock.
And out of that first group of the flight, which was the dentist, uh, Jim and Misty, Kim and Allie, TJ and Tim, Brooke and Robbie, Adam and Bethany, and Amy and Maya. They were the only ones that chose the pancake race.
Yeah, and it paid off. And at the time they finished, 24 seconds left felt impressive. But the more we watched teams do the pancake race, the more impressive it got.
Yeah,
We struggled with the pancake race, man.
yeah, and it was weird because uh, it was, I believe, Dennis and Isabel and Team Nashville. They both failed their first time, but wiped the floor their second time. I don't know
Yeah. Then there's
how
the
that.
firefighters, and we'll get to this later. Finished it and finished running the oval in 1 minute and 15 seconds, but failed because they didn't like flip the pancake enough times while they were running.
And I think it was just the bigger guy that was not flipping enough
Yeah, but they both failed.
because they both had to do it.
Yeah, a team is so they both failed. I was right. You said only the one guy failed.
Shut up.
What's that?
Exactly.
So Adam and Bethany finished first, which gives them a huge head start to the next challenge, and they pretty much keep that distance the whole time. Misty and Jim finished the roadblock second. They did pretty well.
Mm-hmm. I want to say another thing real quick about Adam and Bethany with the pancake race.
Not allowed.
Well, good thing I don't care. Um, there's not many times where having only one arm is going to serve you well on this race.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she didn't even have another hand to, like even bother her. I feel
Yeah.
like if any challenge, she was very capable, and they gave a clinic in the pancake race.
They did. And also, when I believe the second flight comes in, we learn that the flight attendants were both previously in the military.
Yeah,
And as much as pancake race looks easier, that about face is perfect for them, having both been in the military before and having marched drills.
which we find out kind of hurts them at the same time.
Yeah, but like when I first heard they were in the military, that was my note, was about face is perfect for them.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the pancake race teams get to eat the pancake afterwards.
Only you would be asking that question.
Well, of course, it involves food and eating. I'm curious. I like pancakes. It was a
If
big
you tried
pancake.
to eat the pancake, I would knock it out of your hand and drag you along.
I can eat and run at the same time.
Yeah, and you can throw up too.
Look, I can pat my head and run my tummy also. I'm good at multitasking.
Oh, Bruce.
That's
As they
disgusting.
say at Central, you're so pretty.
I am. Thank you for admitting that, because you disagreed with me a few minutes ago on that.
And
So,
you said that the British Guards were hot. I mean,
I did not say that. I said
yeah,
nothing of the sort. I said their hats
that's
were
what I
cool.
heard. That's what I
You
heard.
said the hat was probably warm. You said the hat would be hot, and I said I am too. I never
Nope,
made that connection.
not what I heard.
Do I sound British? I don't think so. Anyway,
Thank
back
God you
on
don't.
topic.
For now.
Yeah, for now. We're not terrible about getting off topic, but we're not great at it either. Misty and Jim, second to finish the roadblock. Keith and Whitney fail their first pancake race attempt because they just didn't finish in time. We kind of went through that.
And Keith was very rude to Whitney at this point, I will say.
Yeah, that's a theme I went back to in the first episode with them. They're already kind of bickering here and there.
Right, but in the first episode, it was not so much Keith being rude as Keith wanting positive reinforcement from Whitney and Whitney not offering positive reinforcement. This time, he was basically like, "This is your fault. You're slow. You have to go fast."
Yeah, sometimes you need tough love. She probably did need to be a little bit faster, but he probably could have gone about it a little bit better. Oh well.
If you would
So,
have said that to me, I would have slapped you.
you need to be faster. You can't slap me. I'm in a computer screen. Use this for the thumbnail. So, Tim and TJ depart fourth place from this challenge. They did the marching one. They did okay. We saw a lot of teams struggle with the marching. They did decently.
Yeah.
I don't have a fifth place written down. The next one I have is Shelly and Nisi sixth place as my next note. And there's not even like a space. It's directly under Tim and TJ.
Amy and Maya,
Oh, the candy people. Yeah.
the food scientists. Yeah.
Well, yes, food scientists, but they
Yes.
specifically
Get it
candy
right.
scientists.
They are food scientists.
But they work with candy.
Sir, they are hashtag food scientists.
Technic.
And you're a hashtag bumbling idiot, so it fits.
Hold on. Their hashtag had sweet in it.
Did it really?
Yeah, 1 second. Let's keep going. So they were fifth. Shelly and Nisi were sixth. Did any of these stick out to you?
Like you said, I was also thinking Shelly and Nisi would, kind of kick butt on that. But there was one place in particular where I think they just kind of went into autopilot when they were doing their about face, and they evidently U.S. military and British military do their about faces a little bit different because she got yelled at by that. What was that?
This was me celebrate. Their hashtag was sweet scientist. It is candy.
There can be things that aren't candy that are sweet.
No, but they work with candy. They talked about it in the first episode. You know that
But
if you paid attention.
candy is food. Candy is food.
So we're both right. Anyway, yeah, they struggled with that more than I thought they would.
Yeah, they got yelled at because, they did an about face as an American military person would, and evidently they did it wrong. So I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah. About this time, Keith and Whitney finish pancake race, which I wrote out as pancake rice for some reason. Thank you, autocorrect.
That doesn't sound very good to me.
Well, potato pancakes are a thing. Rice is a grain. Why wouldn't rice pancakes work? I don't know.
I didn't say they wouldn't work.
The scientists can work on that.
I thought it was sweet.
Well, pancakes are sweet if you put syrup on it.
But the pancake in itself is not sweet.
Is water wet? Anyway. Gosh,
yes.
this is going to take
the answer is yes.
Yes, water is wet. People say it's not.
And pancakes are not sweet.
Yet. The scientists can make them sweet. Experiment.
Well, I'm sure they could. What was that? You're giving a lot of good hand gestures and stuff.
Enough teams have finished now that Mr. Phil, as Tim and TJ called him in episode 1, and I love that.
Mr. Phil.
Gives us the intro for the second challenge, which is called Drop Back and Punt. One team member must propel this boat that's called a punt, but it's basically like a boat, like a long boat.
Hey, you forgot that they had to travel by train to Oxford.
Oh, I did. I forgot to write that down. They went on a choo-choo train, guys.
Choo-choo! From Paddington Station, kind of like Paddington Bear.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Me either. I just know it.
Same. I know things.
But I find that hard to believe sometimes. They went on a train to Oxford.
They went all the way to Mississippi from London?
Yeah, they did on a train, believe it or not.
Whoa. So yeah, they get there. It's called Drop Back and Punt, and they have to stand on two ends of this boat, right? In this long boat. And they have one person standing on a specific end. They have to propel it through the water with this big stick. And the other one's just standing on the other end, waving a little flag. And so that looks interesting. Also, I remember writing this down later in my notes, but since we're describing the second challenge now, both challenges this time involved the entire team. We didn't have... I get the names mixed up, but we didn't have one of the challenges where they have to decide which one of them is doing it.
Right.
I don't know if that's roadblock or speed bump or...
There's... What?
I forget the name of it. Roadblock's one, and then there's another one. Speed bump's not right. That's not anything.
Detour is the other one.
Oh, I was close.
No.
Road words.
No.
Detour, speed bump. Road
Not
words.
even close.
Yeah, they both involve roads.
You're gonna be a speed bump here real quick.
You can't hit me with your car. You're too far away. Anyway. About the time that Mr. Phil is explaining this very interesting looking boat challenge, the firefighters then fail pancake race due to insufficient flipping.
But before that, they also failed it because the one guy couldn't keep his pancake on the pan.
I forgot about that. That was funny.
How about you stop forgetting things? Jeez.
Well, I thought I was a good note taker. Apparently, I'm not.
I'm a good note taker.
And this is where I have it written down. Brooke and Robley struggling hard on about face. Hard is in all caps. Kevin is enjoying watching them struggle, I bet.
You want to know what my note says?
No.
It says, Brooke... Well, I'm going to tell you anyway, so that's tough. Brooke and Robbie are having a rough time. Not upset about it.
See, we basically wrote the same thing. And then,
Yeah.
as teams are still not complete with the first challenge, Adam and Bethany finish the boat challenge already. Yet this is me with like the big stick in my understanding is big long stick. It wasn't even a paddle; it was just a stick. They had to like push
It's
on the
yeah,
bottom of the river thing.
correct. These boats are designed for shallow water travel. And so the long stick is so that they can touch the bottom of the stream, river, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yes, you are correct. Good
Always.
job. You're
Adam
not
and
going to get that
Bethany.
quote very often.
Adam and Bethany finished this punting challenge already, while there are still teams that haven't finished the first challenge yet, which is just wild to me that like they have such a big lead overall. Like second place is still doing pretty good, but like this field is just so spread out. It's
Yeah,
it's wild.
yeah. They
And
kicked
so
butt.
we also had two teams do the boat challenge and finish it, only to be told that they were standing on the wrong sides of the boat.
Yeah. And one of those was the other team I didn't like.
Oh yeah, Misty and Jim.
Yeah.
Hashtag Mim. I forget their hashtag, but I'm just gonna combine their names. Mim.
Marvin Mabs?
Something like that. But yeah, they did really good. No, well, they failed the first one, but overall they've been really strong so far, and I think we'll get into that with power rankings. But
Mm-hmm.
and then so Adam and Bethany then reach the hat stand, which this hat rack is like in the middle of this grassy, stony courtyard place.
At Christchurch College.
Yeah, Christchurch College of the Bible.
Whoa. CCCB?
That's the sticker on my water bottle. Different CCCB, but and Christchurch College doesn't have of the Bible on the end. I just added that for humor reasons. But they're facing a challenge. They open this umbrella. I really need an umbrella in my little recording space here. But oh well.
Yeah.
They open it, and there's a little note inside of it. They pull it, and it says, you have a choice. You can go directly to the pit stop or go look for the express pass in a pub, risking your position in the race. He left. I've been left to my own devices on the show. He trusts me alone. This is a wonderful feeling. Oh, he's back. Nice hat? Question mark?
Thanks.
Is that a pith helmet?
No.
No, that's the pith helmet is the one Phineas and Ferb wore on the Mummy episode, I believe. But so what are you thinking on this choice here? Like,
The choice to go for the express pass,
yeah.
they got such a lead, they would be very dumb not to go for it.
What if it was close though?
Well, see, I will always take the risk for the express pass. And yeah, no doubt about it. That's not even a question for me. It's kind of like do I open the beware advantage, right?
Yeah. Only if I can say a funny phrase.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
as
as
confused as the
confused as a
grass
goat
on
on AstroTurf.
I just said I'm confused as the grass on AstroTurf.
You don't know things.
Shut up. Okay, yeah, I don't blame them, and I think that they would be stupid not to. And if they were close, I would still do it, depending on who they were. If it was somebody like, if it's not Adam and Bethany, if I'm, let's say, the firefighters, or if I'm the flight attendant, Shelly and Nisi, somebody who might not be as physically strong, and I'm up against somebody like, I don't know, Jim and Misty, or even Brooke and Robbie, because they're pretty physically fit, then it could come down to a leg race, and then I could get behind and somehow get screwed over there. I might not do it, but me personally, I'm always going to take the risk.
Yeah, me too. So next up, where was I? Here we are.
I think you're in St. Louis.
Maybe. I'm in my bedroom, in my recording space, with my light.
If you want to go ride his house, he lives in St. Louis.
Yeah, but you don't know where.
Hazelwood.
M County.
What?
I said it's a big city and big county. So
Hazelwood.
shh. That one's not too big. Anyway,
What?
Misty and Jim finished punting. I keep thinking of football. They finished the boating thing second. And they're doing pretty good. Adam and Bethany have a pretty sizable lead, obviously, but Misty and Jim are close behind. They're doing well. Then we have a really funny scene here where Whitney's saying, "Oh, I've done really good with my balance. I've only fallen in once so far." And the second she says that, she falls in.
Woo! Yeah.
Very funny. Just objectively, whether you like them or not, I like them, but that was funny.
What if I didn't think it was funny?
Then you're wrong. But I'm used to that.
I did. I mean, I did think it was funny.
Oh, okay. So you're not wrong. Cool. First time for everything. Anyway,
Hey!
the fire. I don't necessarily remember what this is about, but my note says firefighters moving through the crowd. Oh,
Fire.
they were passing people. They did really good.
Yeah.
They were moving like a crowd. I was thinking crowd of people when I read that, but what it meant was they were moving up through the pack of the race. They were
Because there were some people who were struggling. Yeah.
so firefighters moving up. In all caps, Adam and Bethany get the express pass was my next note. I was very excited about that.
Yes. I was very happy as well. Oh, I also put they got it with an exclamation point.
Yay! And
At the Bear Pub.
do I have a bear? I do not. Oh well. We learn also that the not express pass, pit stop, the place where we are the pals of, is at Winston Churchill's birthplace. That's really cool.
Yeah, and you find that out by looking inside of your hat. This is not quite a bowler hat, but it's the closest thing I had.
My hat's just old on the inside.
Well, I guess you're not going to Churchill's birthplace.
This one says Jostens on the inside.
Yeah, you're going to Jostens. Okay.
I don't know where that is.
They
Anyway.
probably are thankful about that.
We found a way to get off topic and ramble while still being on topic. I'm kind of impressed by that.
You should. You should always be impressed by me.
And so, Misty and Jim get to the grassy, stony Hat Rack courtyard, and it's Christchurch College, but I had written down Hat Rack courtyard on my notes because I couldn't remember what it was.
Wow.
And they figure, and correct guess, by the way, so great read by them. They're smart people. That Adam and Bethany got the express pass already and decided to head to the pit stop. I don't know why. Some sinister part of me was kind of hoping one of these teams would try to go for the express pass.
Kind of like
and just find out it wasn't there.
Kind of like the callback to Stephen and Lee on 35.
Oh, yeah. I like them.
When Steve, I felt like he was going to have a heart attack going up those steps.
Uh-huh. And so,
but they still didn't go home, so it was okay.
My next note is diverging current has people messing up bad. Because there was like a fork in the road, but it was a watery fork in the road. where it went this
What's the
way.
fork in the road?
See, now I think of the scene from the original Muppet movie I grew up watching with my parents, where there's literally a giant fork stabbed into the road when they say turn left at the fork in the road. But
Frog.
hi ho. Anyway,
That was really good.
thank you. That's like the one impression I'm good at. But anyway, there's a fork in the road. The very watery fork in the road, because like the road goes like this, and it goes two different ways.
And there's water in it.
I said watery.
I know.
There's currents carrying it both ways. Like you're going down one singular stretch, then it splits, and the current goes both ways. And that had people messing up really bad. Took a few people down the wrong path, I believe. Just wild.
And it ended up being the game changer here.
Yeah, because two teams get left behind. We have Dennis and Isabel and Shelly and Nisi in the bottom two. And both teams are racing to the pit stop. Both teams have someone crying, which I wrote down in my notes because you mentioned the crying last week in the preview.
Mm-hmm.
And so here is our finish order. First place on this leg, Adam and Bethany.
And they got a trip to Sweden.
Wow. Fifth to first, in parentheses. Then another set of parentheses that says, win a trip to Sweden. Ice Hotel looks really cool. Hey, cool. Pun. I didn't even do that on purpose. Anyway, second place is Misty and Jim. Kim and Allie third. Fourth place, Keith and Whitney. Parentheses, huge improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth place, Tim and TJ. They dropped a little bit. Sixth place, Firefighters. They definitely moved up the pack. Seventh place, your favorite professional wrestlers ever, Brooke and Robbie.
Woo!
Eighth place, the Candy Scientists, Amy and Maya. But I still...
The food scientists.
Whatever. Candy food. Go eat some Skittles. Tell me it's not food. Ninth place, Shelly and Nisi, which means that in 10th place, Dennis and Isabel got eliminated.
Who were in your top three favorites?
I liked them. They were fun. I thought they had a cool story. They were trying to prove to her parents that he was good enough or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole idea there was she was Vietnamese and he was Cambodian, and they wanted her to date another Vietnamese human being and not a Cambodian. I would like to speak on this final two real quick. They made a huge point in this episode as to how the both of these bottom two teams, Shelly and Nisi, and Dennis and Isabel, were both claiming to be the biggest super fans of The Amazing Race. Nobody knows more than me about The Amazing Race. And how ironic is it that the last two teams, the two teams that are racing for last place, are the two teams that claim to be the biggest fans of the race?
So go into it having never watched it. That's the key.
Didn't say that.
Poked myself in the eye. Anyway.
You deserve that.
Okay. You're so mean to me.
I try.
Yeah, that is interesting, though. I didn't pick... that slipped my mind. But, so, before we get into power rankings, any other thoughts on this episode or things that happened that we didn't cover?
You forgot to say that the name of the pit stop was Blenheim's Palace.
The name of the pit stop was Blenheim's Palace.
Good job.
It's where Winston Churchill was born.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay.
Let me see if I had anything else.
You look like a safari man in that hat.
What?
You look like a adventure safari man in that hat.
I have two things. The first thing is it was really funny when the flight attendants had to pee while they were trying to punt.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was great. And there was
and then there's that other boat of people and they were all laughing at him.
That weren't even part of the show or part of the race.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was funny. Also, when I think it was Amy and Maya were trying, or it was either Kim and Allie or Amy and Maya. I can't remember. It was a girl group,
Girl power.
and they were at uh the place where they got the hats and the umbrellas, and they kept going, "Oh, the clues on the inside of my hat."
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty funny.
It was. This is great for the audience that's not watching visually. But okay, so power rankings. Top 9. What you got? Bottom to top.
1 through 9, bottom to top.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. In 9th place, I am going to stick with my guns on Michael and Scott.
Nice.
They improved a little bit this week, but I don't have faith in their long haul. They got they did a little better this week. They've hit a stride, but I don't know how many strides are going to be there for them to hit.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course it is. I said it. In 8th place, I'm going with Shelly and Nisi. They struggled this week. They showed that they definitely have their flaws. Even though they are a super fan team, I don't have a lot of faith for them. Like I believe. No, that's not who I said that about. Never mind.
Nice.
Yeah. After them, I'm gonna go Brooke and Robbie. I don't like them, but they're doing well. I have them in 7th. They finished in 7th this week. It works out.
7th.
Good job. In 6th, I'm gonna go with Amy and Maya. They struggled this week.
Which ones were they?
The food scientist.
The candy scientist.
Food.
That one.
Okay. But they struggled a little bit this week. They aren't that high right now, but I have a little more faith in them than I do either Shelly and Nisi and Michael and Scott, and I like them better than Brooke and Robbie. They're in my 6th spot. 5th place, I'm gonna go with Keith and Whitney. They finished in 4th place. They jumped up a ton from last week where they finished 9th, but they butt heads a lot.
They do.
And I think that's going to hurt them eventually.
Yeah, me too.
4th place, I'm going Tim and TJ.
I like them. They're fun.
They are a lot of fun.
They
and
fell backwards in the pack a little bit this episode, but yeah, they'll be fine.
I wish I could put them in my top 3. But right now, it's a little undeniable. I got to give flowers where I don't want to with Jim and Misty.
You're putting Jim and Misty at 3?
At 3. They are solid. They are good at this game. And I don't think they're going home anytime soon. 2nd, I'm going Kim and Allie. I think, if I'm being completely honest, they're slowly working their way into actually ending up being my favorite team. Not that I don't like Adam and Bethany. I just love Kim and Allie.
Can't believe you watched the Soul Surfer movie. How dare you?
Shut up.
No. What's that?
And with my number 1 team, the Sweden folk, Adam and Bethany, are number 1 for me this week.
Yeah.
They had a flawless game. this episode. This leg was great for them, and a lot of bad would have to happen for them to go home anytime soon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. They killed it this episode, but like we mentioned earlier, all the 5 or 6 groups start the next leg at the same time now. It's not the staggered start based on when you came in. So we shall see. Moving into my rankings, I still love your Indiana Jones adventure hat. It's making me smile when I look at it. But it's like tan, not brown.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it was my dead uncle's.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I bought it in an auction.
Shelly and Nisi are my 9 spot. They finished last this leg, almost went home anyway. I think they go home next. My list is similar to yours, but there's a couple spots where, for example, 8 and 9 or 6 and 7, just numbers off the top of my head, not exactly where these spots are, where we just have people flipped. So I have Shelly and Nisi at 9. They almost went home this episode. I'm thinking they will next episode. The firefighters are at 8. They moved up the pack a lot this week. I still just don't trust them completely to keep doing. They struggled with pancake race. They're gonna struggle with more stuff. There's gonna be harder challenges than make a pancake and run in a circle. But
well, somehow that was the harder challenge for them.
Yeah, I want to see how they do with the about face, the military marching ones with the big cool hats.
I think they would be fine. The guys you think are hot, yeah.
No, we're not getting into that. Keith and Brooke and Robbie are at 7. You threw me off.
You have Brooke and Robbie at 7?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I have Shelly and Nisi at 9, firefighters at 8, Brooke and Robbie at 7. I don't love them. I don't think they're gonna go super far. They really struggled with the British marching challenge, but I definitely think the other 2 teams are worse at this game than they are, so I put them at 7.
You bumped them down quite a bit.
They struggled quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I was just saying you had them at 4 or 5 last time.
Last time I really based off of finishes that week. Now I kind of have an overall body to look at. And they were really strong the first episode, and they fell off hard this week. So
okay, respect.
Keith and Whitney at 6. They did really good this week. They sailed through things. But the way they're bickering, you usually don't start to see till towards the end when tensions get high. The fact that we're having these little moments now means I feel like it's going to get worse later.
Bruce, I'm just going to say it. When you watch more race, you're going to see more of that.
Yes, I know, but I'm basing this based off of my current knowledge. But it worries me just a little bit, though. I don't think their communication styles mesh well so far. Not like the honeymoon phase Soul Surfer couple that just are on the same page with everything.
Right.
Number 5, I have Amy and Maya, the candy scientist, sweet scientist to be exact. That's their hashtag team name. And closed, open, I don't know. Anyway, I don't really have a reason to have them here. They weren't great either of the first 2 episodes. I just kind of have this gut feeling that they're going to go pretty deep for some reason. And I can't justify putting them higher than 5. So that's where they are.
That's fair.
Number 4, Tim and TJ. Really strong first episode. Not a bad second episode. Just not as good as their first episode, but they're fine. They're not going home soon. Number 3, Kim and Allie. They did really good. They're really strong bicyclists. And number 2, Misty and Jim won the first leg, second in the second leg. They're killing it. They're doing awesome.
They're good.
You don't like them. I don't love them. They're not one of my favorites. I'm just kind of indifferent on them.
Your mom doesn't like them.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. She also, on my other show, agrees with my other co-hosts more than me usually, too. I think she just likes to disagree with me sometimes. So
I don't. I also like to disagree with you.
She's also rolling her eyes, standing here watching me say that. So behind my computer. And number 1, jumping 5 spots in the race this week, only a couple spots on power rankings for me. Adam and Bethany absolutely sailed through this episode. Nobody was even in the same area as them once they left Pancake Race. So,
Yeah, it was a pretty dominant week for Adam and Bethany, that's for sure.
yep. This was a fun episode.
Oh, absolutely. I loved it. I think that Amazing Race 25 is starting out strong. Did you happen to see what?
25. I was just putting up 25.
Oh, I thought you were putting up 7
No,
or
25.
several.
Several.
Did you happen to see there was that comment? No, you didn't. That was on. Are you part of the Amazing Race fans group on Facebook?
No, not yet, because I watched a lot. I joined Survivor Fan Jury before I had seen all the seasons, and I pretty
Yeah,
much knew who had won each season before I watched it at that point. So
I did that too.
I thought the podcast might be better if I didn't know who wins
That's fair.
at the beginning of the season.
I joined the Amazing Race fans, and I've been sharing all our content on there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and one person commented and said after we posted last week's episode, the premiere of 25, they commented and said, "That's so cool. I was actually in Times Square at that premiere," and they posted a picture of them, another dude, and Phil.
That's cool.
At the premiere. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And we've had a few interactions on that. Also, shout out to the 8 former contestants that have followed our Instagram account and that have been conversing with me, as well as Chappelle from RHAP and his podcast show on RHAP, the Recap Kickback. Both are followers of the Pitstop Pals. But yeah, it's been a great week of Amazing Race, even though
It
we're in
has
the off
been.
season.
Would you like to sign us off from this wonderful episode?
Sure.
Wonderful, chaotic episode that we just have done of our
From
show here?
the hashtag Bumbling Idiots. The world is waiting for you.
Go.
Not yet. The world is waiting for you. Travel safe.
Go.
You forgot your part.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Go.
Go.
I win.